Okay, let's get started. I figure this music is nicer than some lo-fi. So I'm darn tired of lo-fi. Chibi, what are you doing? Chibi. Me too. Not me just trying to figure out how to life. Okay. If you can hear my music in the background or any fan noises, let me know. Hey, no, I wasn't talking. I can relate to the cat in the chair. Technically, I am also a cat in a chair. How does my audio sound? It was a combination of like focusing and the fact that no one was here. And I know you're supposed to kind of like be able to just talk. But also, I don't know. Okay, cool. I have well, I guess I believe you didn't hear this microphone last time, so this is like a new microphone. So hopefully it sounds a little bit better. Hey! Long time no see. This is one of those things where I have to try and like, I recognize your name, Lilith, but I don't remember who you're associated with outside of that. Like I can't keep, like Ramen Cat is just Ramen Cat everywhere, so that's easy. What's your secret? What's your secret identity? Wow, you're really getting a chair for yourself? That's honorable. True love right there. So, I don't know about you guys, but it's really... There are thunderstorms a-coming. Hurricane Lee, and my big dog doesn't like thunder or that sort of thing. So I got a thunder shirt for him, and I have already put it on preemptively to hopefully minimize any scares for him. Okay, so for this one, I believe it should be above. I mean, honestly, it's probably just going to be above for all of them. So I'm going to take out these two spots here. These are... Oh. Yeah, no, that's fine. I had those there because of the ears. Of course! Of course, that's always how it happens. That's literally... You know, it's fate right there. But, yeah, so I'm getting rid of these points because those were for the ears, because I was changing which ones appeared on top. So you can, let me move this. Oh, wow, that was helpful. Not. But you see how they're, switching which one is over the other, which is just draw order. So I have these extra things, because I'm like, when it's near here, I want... the, what do you call it? I want the ear to go, the back of the ear to go in front or behind the head at a certain point, so that's why I added that extra one. But for the fish, it's not necessary. I can just keep it at, 500, I think. Why can't I do draw order? You bum? Oh, because I'm on the deformer. No wonder. I guess I could just take this out, actually. I'm just being silly now. Okay. So... So I commissioned some music to play for when I'm doing tutorial streams, and it's actually kind of similar to this, in that it's going to be able to be able to just like loop. A different one. This one's called Cafe. The last one was called... No, wait. The last one was called Boba Date, and this one's called Sweet Cafe. Okay. Okay, so going straight down. I think it really looks around here, but when it comes down here, that's when it kind of disintegrates a little bit. Excuse me. I also have some hummus. Thanks. Be cozy. So we'll see. Maybe I'll be able to actually get some work done. Oh, I should start my timer. I've started I wish I do this for clients. Like I keep track of how much time it takes me to do things. Sometimes down to like even the part that I'm no worries. Sometimes due to the like what was I even talking about? Oh my god, I just had a huge brain fart. The music that's playing right now is pretty much my brain going like loading. Okay, well, when you come back, tell me what I said because I actually just forgot. Client times. Oh yes, thank you. So I like down to like let's say I'm working on the head and maybe I'm working on the eyes. Then I'll go to the eye timer and do that. And the program that I use, it automatically counts it all up if it's like within something. So like the eyes, the mouth, and nose are all within the head, and the head is within the larger project. So I can put in those individual times and it'll give me the sum. And I mean, technically the only person I've really done that on is Alu because he's technically my first. I do have like a secret human rig that I did, but it's not really one I want to include in my portfolio. So I guess I'm kind of like trying to create a benchmark for myself, but hopefully it'll make a difference in the future. On personal projects, I'm not, or I have not been measuring myself, but I don't know why, but what in the butt? But now I've been trying to keep tracking of like how many hours I'm working because like it seems obvious, but then also I realize, you know, for like tax things, I should probably be able to say, yes, I worked this many hours. And yeah, so save myself the hassle. This fish is looking so chubby. Glub glub, motherfucker. So, some information I'd like to share with you that I learned more recently. Because I was looking at, so if you look at the Bezier type for these deformers, there's like smooth 1, smooth 2, smooth 3, smooth all. It's like, what the heck does that even mean? Like, usually you just are on retain control, which is fine, but sometimes if you want something that's round, you can use the smooths. And I couldn't, for the longest time, couldn't figure out what the differences actually were. But you can almost think of it as a area of effect. So I don't know what like the 1, the 2, and the 3 are actually connecting to. Like, is it like points? Is it whatever? But I know that if I want to do like a big smooth, then I do all. And if I want to do something smaller, more detailed, I can do one of the other ones. So helpful. But yeah, usually I don't have my office door open when I'm streaming and stuff, but Joopy, the dog who's scared of thunder, likes to kind of like be near me or follow me around or kind of I don't know what he does. He just He does droopy things. And so I want to leave the door open to give him the chance to leave the room if he wants, or come back in. Okay, so this one is... I need to somehow make this... more front enough. That's what's kind of tricky, is because this is one layer. This is not separated. So... which is totally fine. I mean, if anything, I'm used to having too many things be not separated. No, wait, too many things being separated, and then everything becomes more complicated. Okay, so I'm seeing here that it's bending. Also, I noticed that, I don't know if it's a glitch or something, but I noticed the grid keeps popping up every time I opened the program for the first time. It didn't used to do that, I don't think. I found it kind of annoying, but now I'm just starting to get used to it. And so I'm like seeing, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect, but if it can line up a little bit, because, you know, your head has angles and stuff like that. If it can line up a little bit nicer, then the transition doesn't seem as crazy. So like right here, I'll put a thing there, and so you see it goes up there. So if I move this down, and I don't have to do that with absolutely everyone, because otherwise it'll look sterile. But it can definitely help with dealing with perspective things. So like this one, I'm going to extend this to make it look like it's deeper in there. Maybe what I should do is hide this deeper in as well. So then when it shows that, it's as if it's showing more. So like the ears are a little different than Rose originally drew them, for example. Okay, so this whole line is going down. I think that I could also make it so you can see the head there, so then it just, even though it's not actually changing, it'll give the illusion that it is. So what have you been up to today? Anything interesting? I remember you said you were not feeling well. Now you're feeling better, which is good. So I like the way this goes. It's a little dramatic, but like, it's just too bad that I can't fudge that more. Unless maybe I could really move the eye more. Have I seen your character? I can't remember. Hey, it'd be like that sometimes. So if I pretend like... Well, actually... So this is supposed to be technically like face forward. This should be more face forward. And that one's away. Or not. Actually... maybe revealing a little bit. Hey! You're off-duty, Shin. I'm glad you're here, Shin. Thanks for the hearts. Okay, so I can see that it's getting a little bit small. Here. If I squeeze this out this way... I'm like messing with my own brain, like I'm getting confused. Okay. So if this is like supposed to be a side view, then it's supposed to be more forward, which means this one is supposed to be more like this. Of course, I'm doing it like the messiest way possible. Did you do anything interesting today, Shin? Oh wait, you're lurking. Sorry. Lurk away. I'm still learning how to exist. You know what? I don't hear any thunder right now, so I'm gonna close the door so I don't hear the barking. And if it thunders, then I'll open the door again for him. Okay. So, I'm trying out this new music, and it's cute and all, because it loops, blah blah blah. But I feel like it's just kind of peppy enough where I can notice it about 12 minutes in. The last one, let's see, I got 12 minutes in. Okay, so listening to like 12 minutes is like my cutoff point, which is kind of sad. This one is called Cute and oh, well, it says cute and relaxing music, but there's a little penguin. It's cute. Okay. Man, I'm so spoiled by Rose. Like, I don't know how to... well, I do. I know how to do it, but it doesn't come easily to figure out how to do the stuff without having like a million things cut out for me. I feel like this is getting weird. I'm not fooling anyone, because that would go back. It would go back, okay. I'm like playing mind tricks with myself. It's just a bit of a fudge that I feel like it's not very convincing. Something fell off my wall. So I turned off my air conditioner, I turned off my air filter, and I just kept my Vornado, which is supposed to be an air circulator. You're supposed to basically point it at a ceiling or a wall or something and it circulates in the room. But I pretty much use it as like a glorified hair dryer slash giant fan. And I had it not pointed towards me. To try and like keep down the noise. I just turned it towards me. Can you hear it? And to be fair, I'm actually cheating a little bit because I'm blocking the air. I just need one of those like I don't know what you call them. One of those. Okay, good. That's all that matters really. Because like if it was up to me, I'd have everything on and I'd be I'm getting hot is the point, is what I'm getting at. So I'm now pointing at me and I'm going to survive. Okay, so you know what I think I might do, unfortunately? I'm gonna go back. What's your theme? Like your overlay theme gonna be? So the middle one, which is how you're supposed to look at it forward, I'm just gonna pretend like it's actually just a little bit more this way. Ramen shop, cute. Classic. Can't go wrong with a ramen cat shop. Wait, are you gonna be a cat? I assume you're gonna be a cat. So if I budget a little bit, this needs to still go more into the ear. Ah, okay. Well, hey, I dig it. All are welcome in my world of cat. I'm a shapeshifter, but the shapes are not shifting. Hey, Kyo, how you doing? Yeah, I'm trying to get this done so I can then not feel bad about when I'm like streaming clients, because like like literally no one's asking for it, but like I still want to look half decent, you know? Gotta represent. Oh, well, I'm glad to see you sleep for once. You are indeed a sentient being. It's kind of like when you stream, sometimes I pop on for a second, but then I have to go. So you're just returning the favor. Casual hit and run. Okay, so actually this one will go out more. Tucked in and then points out. Let's see. And like, especially because this line is here, I can see a little bit of rippling with the ear. Like it's kind of like bouncing a little bit. But let's just ignore that for now. But that's what I meant by like, I spent 4 hours on those ears, I'm gonna spend another 4 hours. I just know it. So I'm not sure how I feel about like how this shape, but I think that maybe I'm just gonna convince myself that it's like kind of like flat against it. Otherwise I might go crazy. Okay, I fix those ears. At first, I like when I was doing it before, I was like, oh, I can just like pretend like, you know, because when you bend your head, technically things go far away, perspective and all that stuff. Yes, I can clone and flip. That's why I'm trying to do everything on this ear. Like any possible thing that I want to do with the ear, I'm trying to do it once. And then I flip it. And so like for eyes, I will spend time doing the physics of the eyes, doing like the eyeballs looking around and having the sphere shape and having it attached to the head and stuff like that. And then once it's basically a complete eye, then I flip it over. And then I can just shift around some of the parameters and it's done. But if I kind of do it as I go along, it's just not gonna work, so. And also you'd be surprised by, especially with like eyeballs, everything looks like it's gonna line up, and then you flip it, and then you realize the eyes are like all over the place. So usually I don't like to kind of like do this blind the way I'm doing it, when I'm basically pushing it around like putty without actually seeing the thing, because then the mesh can get very crunchy. But, you know, sometimes you gotta be a little lazy. And like I was mentioning before, I have these two close together because I'm changing when certain layers of the ear appear. But that also means then I need to be exact when I want to change something, because I need to do it on both since they're basically so close to each other. If I recall, I think maybe I did see some example viewers or something, because I remember you said that you had 2 different colored eyes, right? If they're, or are they more than just 2 different colors? Are they like completely different whatever? Because like you're not completely screwing yourself over, you'd have to do it regardless. I mean, assuming you had different eyes, but you could get like the base shape down, and then if it's only the physics of like the jiggly bits or the the details and stuff like that, that can be like done individually. Well, send it over to me when you get the chance, and I can see if I can't give some tips on what might help you. Okay, now the bouncing is bothering me now. Front. Right now I've turned on onion skin. I don't use it that often, but I guess sometimes it can be helpful. But then sometimes I turn it on by accident. Like once the full model's moving, it's not even like people are necessarily gonna be noticing these tiny little things. But I'm gonna notice. I'll see it and I won't forget it. And it will bother me until Kingdom Come. I think that it would be like if I don't have a grid behind it or something, it will be easier to pretend like it doesn't exist. Oops. I wanted to make this black. Let's see. Yeah, you like barely notice it. You might notice the little bottom part of the ear here that it kind of like curves in a little too quick. But other than that... So you see how this is like hopping up? That's because like where I placed this, which was on purpose. But a way to make the whole transition smoother is to move it up. So even though it's not seen, it's a smaller distance that it has to travel to get to that point. I am taking a gander. Okay, no, I don't think I ever saw your character before. I feel like, I don't know, did I? Probably not. Well, it looks like you have the highlights are the same for the eyes. But I mean, like, for example, the eyelashes and all those things, they look like they're the same. It's only the iris itself that's different. And if that's the case, you don't have to worry too much. You can basically do everything except the iris. And then flip that. And go from there. I approve of your color scheme. We're similar. I think she's gonna look so cute. And I don't know, depending on how quickly you learn, it might not be as far away as you think. But yeah, dude, fear not. There is not yet time to panic. So sometimes that what I had to do is like ignore this thing, because I'm like, if I see it, like for example, if I see it like move, like warping and it's like bouncing, but like when you turn it off, you don't necessarily see that. I had to keep that in mind, because otherwise I'll basically overcompensate. So I wish there was one that's like right here, diagonally. You kind of have to raise it yourself, I think. Ooh, so round. So squish. I love it. I don't know if you guys have heard of like symbiotic relationships in the animal world, but basically it's like two animals that don't really have anything to do with each other, basically help each other out by, you know, maybe a shrimp will clean you off, and as a result they get safety, or maybe they get leftover bits of your food, and then so it's voila, you're helping each other out. It's a part of survival. Anyway, so this fish reminds me of that, like it's hiding out in a little cave. Who knows what it's doing there, but it's cute. Yes, shark are the cleaner fish. Yeah, there's so many I can't think of all of them. Yeah. The what do you call it burb? Literally what's called. So I need to push this down more. An owl. Does it look like an owl? I guess it kind of does, doesn't it? Like a feathery little owl. Like a little beak. Oh, that's funny. I didn't see that at all. Cause, yeah, Rose and I have this ongoing, plan of, you know, like I'm Merkitty, and she was saying that she wanted to do like a mermaid, like that's something that she would love to draw at some point. And I'm like, okay, draw, you can do me as a mermaid. So mermemi, and so this is the chibi kind of thing to kind of like tide me over. That's how I would describe it. And her design, actually, let me just bring it up. And her design has that in there. So some people may have noticed that like I updated a bunch of my socials for Merkitty with just, I did a pixel version of that. Let's see. Snow. So this is my little pixel one. And so you can see the little, it definitely looks like a fish here. Yeah, because especially like when we first started talking to each other, we were like, oh, look at all these things that we haven't been able to do that we would love to try or whatever. And so hers was like a mermaid. And especially with the like she hates character design, but she's so good at it. And but seeing the like vast improvements she's made recently, I really think that like she's gonna do like a stellar job. But yeah, so these technically are very slightly different eyes, only the different coloring there. Now that I think about it. No, actually, yeah. I think that I need to remember that they have different colored eyes, because I think that if I go into my model right now of this model, it's gonna both have like blue eyes or something. Because I like forgot. The only thing with this one is that it's more noticeable to me that this is like going in. Yeah. Or as from the model's perspective, as we say in the industry, the right eye is green and the left eye is blue. Because it's always from the model's perspective, which can be confusing at first. So I guess it's kind of like a kid, you just learn to do the opposite of what you're told. So like you can see the Bezier, like it's moving, like it's changing, and this is changing too. But like if you look at this particular edge compared to the two that are next to it, that one is moving a lot more than the other one. So that's what I was saying about how the if you're just going by like the outline of that, it can be deceiving. Why did I make this black? Okay, I need to make this not so. Okay. But yeah, so all of this is always also like an exercise of letting go. Just let it go. Elsa style. because like these ears, they look, you know, more or less fine on their own. But once you put the fish in, you have that point of comparison, and you can actually see like how much that little corner is moving compared to when it was just white. And then like if I do have it over, like how much of this little space is there going to be. So for here, probably going to want to extend the fish a little bit. It's so round. It's looking a little tall if I do it like that, but also it's just so cute. But yeah, so aside from, you know, obviously I'm going to finish all the clients I have, and by the end of the year, that's my goal. And then there's some other projects I'm going to do. I think that I'll be more choosy about larger models that I do. One for burnout purposes, and also just keep it interesting, I guess. See how that goes. Okay, so I have up and down here, and I am going to risk it for the biscuit, and I'm going to try to synthesize the corners. So I'm basically creating these points here. And a lot of times, like new people will do this with face angles and stuff, which is totally fine. It's generally a place to start. But depending on what it is, you can see how there's a lot of overlap here, which is fine for my purposes, but sometimes it'll get too messy. And the number of vertices that I've individually picked out like it's a ball of yarn or something, except it wasn't even this, it was like the art mesh. Specifically for my fish model, actually. But yeah, so let's see. Doesn't look too bad. So this one shouldn't be too hard to fix. But it's not always that easy. This one definitely looks very owly from this angle. But you can see how like it's all showing through. It's getting a little crunchy. It's like, what are you doing? And sometimes when you have the smooth on, you can like kind of like wiggle it around and it'll straighten itself out, but sometimes not. Did it puff? Because that's what I do plan on having it do, both this one and the larger model. Like, whenever you'd have like a wiggle from an ear or something, or if there's like lots of movement, it'll blow bubbles. So I have the bubble trail here. And I have the, I have a repeating parameter here. So basically when I go to animate it, I can just have it do that continuously. But if I go into physics, even though it's like, when this shakes, I want this to trigger, because it's not linked to an animation yet. Actually, this might be good to show, like ramen, for example. So it's, let's see, earfish. So I'm saying when did I do the ears down? I haven't done the ears down yet. But basically I had the ears going down, up and down, and said like basically with that movement of the ears going up or down, that will trigger the fish to bounce, like that. Although, since I've now re-rigged it, I'll have to change the physics for that. For the bubble to bounce, and for the bubble trail to happen. So when you're seeing it go up and down, that's the trail. It's just following the trail based off what pendulum it is on. But the bubble itself is like expanding and wiggling as well due to the bubble bounce. So yeah. So that's why when I originally posted it on Twitter, I was just like, I'm not gonna actually post this because it won't make sense to people. They won't understand that, and it just looks weird to have it go like even if the ears look normal, the bubble just like going haywire. It's just like not a thing. But yeah, so I can actually show you here. So the fish bounce it's bending based off my original coordinates, deformations, whatever you want to call it, if you will. But now that I've changed the way that the deformer looks, I'm gonna delete it, and this is on blend shapes. So blend shapes don't follow the same. Like you can have, it's basically kind of in the name. They can blend together, and you don't have to worry about things like just crashing together or not working, blah blah blah. That's a story for another time. But once you get used to it, it's they're easy to abuse in the best way. So I'm gonna say when it's over here, it's gonna go that. It's over here. Okay, this is a little dramatic, but for purposes, it makes sense. And then that way, I might go here. That way, even if I'm like down here, it'll still follow. It'll still follow the same rule. It'll blend the original thing that's recorded here and apply it to all of the keyforms. Yeah. So I need to untangle this. I think this forehead is a little on the big side. One thing that I really, that's like a goal of mine is like, you know how there's some channels like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Hollow Taco. That's Christine without an H, simply nail logical. Anyway, I have a huge collection of her nail polish, and something that you hear on sites like hers is like, I don't even wear nail polish, I'm watching your videos, like that sort of thing. Like I want to be able to do that for like rigging and stuff. So especially once I'm like really up and running, I want to be able to kind of create content that, you know, spreads it out more, like to a wider audience. And it's not even so much like, oh, you know, fight for VTubers or whatever. VTuber pride. If anything, it's kind of like the opposite of that. But I just think it's like, you know, I still want to be kind of like make something of myself, even though it's not by traditional means, you know. Being that I'm adopted, like I was born in China and adopted into an American family. People who are biracial or in a similar situation can often understand the feeling of like, you don't really belong in either one. I'm not Chinese enough for the Chinese, and I'm Asian, so it's kind of hard to like not see that, you know? So like more often than not, it would be like, where are you from? Even if I was born here, you know? So the head seems to get a little flat there. I'm gonna Yeah, there's also that kind of whole thing about how the internet kind of, you know, it's kind of a not I wouldn't say I'm not saying echo chamber, but like it attracts people of similar situations and kinds, so it's probably one of the reasons why like we bond. Okay, let's see. So the eye is really going out there. And I think that we needed to do that to make this more believable. So that means this eye needs to go over here. Yeah, I'm chock full of ideas, that's the problem. So many ideas, so little time. Um but yeah, in terms of like being accepted, um there's so much like petty drama and stuff like that. Like I'm perfectly happy to like be a rigger and like take care of my clients, make sure people are happy, but otherwise like leave me out of it. I couldn't care less. Like I kind of like I'm a VTuber by circumstance. And for example, one of the channels that I'm planning on opening is one where I read books and like public what do you call it? Public domain books, so I don't get copyright striked. Because it's like even when there are like maybe like actors or if I see something written in a book, I've always had this habit of like for example if it's in an accent, I'll say it in the accent, and especially if it's like I binge watch a lot of TV. Like I don't watch it like a normal person. I like binge watch, which maybe that is normal nowadays. But so if it's like one that's all taking place in like the UK or something like that, I can accurately replicate the accents, and I just find that so fun. And so I want to be able to kind of lean into it, I guess. And maybe along the way I can share some of my favorite books that I read as a child or whatever. I mean, granted, that's not necessarily like a bunch of them because most of them are like made a long time ago, or they're like Moby Dick or the Count of Monte Cristo or like something like really heavy. But I'm sure we can find some stuff. Or like the Grimm's fairy tales. Like I've always wanted to read all of them. Like read the source material, so to speak. And I know everyone's version of like The Little Mermaid is different. And so, I think that would be cool. Okay, so either I make... zoom all the way out. It still kind of looks like it gets a little too big when it pops up like that. But then again, that's what the ear is doing, and probably in motion it won't matter as much. Yeah, those fairy tales, they get stabbed. People die. It's awesome. Science. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so going back to the ears for a second, what I typically do is I do all these corners, like I'll do one axis, another axis, another axis, and then I'll kind of like move them together and kind of see how they bounce. Like this one, you can see that clearly gets a lot smaller. It's like, okay, which one do I like better? Which one am I trying to kind of like go with more? And I like this one more. So I'm going to look at where some of those changes are. Oops. But yeah, in terms of like fairy tales, a lot of them have been kind of like made like safe for kids type of stuff. So to accommodate this change, what I'm gonna do is make this ear pull it down just a little bit. Excuse me. Pull it down just a little bit. I promise I'm not dying. Okay. Oh, right. I mean, if this is... I don't really even need this one, because it's... I don't need this, because it's always going to be... With this particular piece, the front piece, it'll always be on top, so I don't need to have these extra ones. I'm just making it harder for myself. But as a result, it does change how some things are moving, so you can see now there's like this gap here. So I'm gonna have to accommodate for that. Because the back one... Or wait, you know what? I'm a dummy. The reason why I had that was because the back one does need it. And just to make it smoother overall, to make sure they're always together, that's why I put it on the front. Well, there you go. I answered my own question. Yeah. So, I want to hear about the fun parts, you know? Like you were saying. Okay. So this back one here, I can tuck this in a little bit. And now that the fish kind of distracts from more of it, I can pull out more of the other side of the ear than I might have otherwise. Sleep well. Thanks for hanging by. I fell asleep at like 5 yesterday, so I feel you. Except that this is your life, so you do this all the time. Shame on you. Just kidding. Sleep well. And thanks for the lurk. Okay, so let's see. Let's see how our bouncing fish is doing. So even though the fish itself might be cohesive, then I have to take into account the fact that this ear is changing too. No! Your body needs to heal. It can't heal if you're just, you know, fucking around and finding out. So, my husband, he's, for anyone who doesn't know, he's Indian, so English is not his, like, 5th language. And so what he's been saying is fuck around and figure out. I'm like, if it was fuck around and figure out, that would be great, but no, it's fuck around and find out. Such an optimist. yeah, he makes me feel better in that I oftentimes feel like I am like, you know, I'm a Pisces. I don't necessarily believe in all that stuff, but like, you know, it tracks. You know, my Chinese zodiac, I I am wait no MBTI MTB MBTI Myers-Briggs. Um, that's funny, Kyo. Fucked around and getting fucked. Yeah. So the Myers-Briggs, like, they all happen to share, and I know that it's like you can like look into like what you're looking for, but like, you know, I am stubborn, I am like sensitive, I am passionate, so like all those things. I do love to plan, I do love to dream and stuff like that. So it's just like, oh well, that's like a winky dink, you know, like hey. So I don't remember why I don't remember why I mentioned it, but now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Alright, this is getting good. So it gets a little slow here, which means that this fish is not moving in fast. Oh, nope. Fish is not moving in fast enough. Ah, come on. Oh wait, I need to be on a keyform, that's why. Yeah, like what math teacher of all teachers, why the math teacher? I feel like if it's like a teacher, it sounds like it's like for nefarious purposes. They're like, you know, who's mostly lying? Who's most likely to lie to me because this, that, and the other, you know? And I think that it's like when people use it for those purposes, that's when it gets kind of like sketch. So like these over here, even though you're not going to see them, I'm moving them over so then when you do go like this, it's just more a natural transition. Because like I said, they don't have to go as far. I'm gonna move this bubble, it's distracting. And I'm gonna save. Saving is important. Okay, I see it kind of like go up a little bit. It does have an autosave, but like when you go into the autosave things, it's just a crap ton of files and it's overwhelming and they're all named like, you know, like save A, B, you know, date, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, I don't know. Yeah, so I do have it on autosave, like, in a pinch, but also, I guess maybe I'm kind of like old school in that way, that I like to make sure I save it. Like when Photoshop was, when Photoshop was a thing, before things like smart masks and all that stuff, were a thing, I would do it like what you might call the legacy way. I'd make a duplicate of something, I'd edit it, but I'd always have a hard copy so I know that it's like safe. Whereas with smart masks, you don't have to worry about losing it, but I'm still like, I still feel better doing it that way, you know? Okay, so I think, oops. This. I think that looks more natural. and a touch. This out a little bit. Although it does look very narrow and like it gets bigger, but you know what? I need to just be quiet. I can't have everything. I can see the back poking through. Just squish that down. Almost like it's like pulling. Okay, so this is just the normal, because I haven't done this one yet, so that explains it. Move the fist to the approximate position. It's already there, okay. So now I can see that it's a little tucked in here. But otherwise, it's more or less where I want it for those, and now I can just look at this mess. So sometimes I like to make it easier for myself. So this is the case where like I have a bunch of shortcuts, but what I'm essentially doing is copying parameter value. So it takes note of where all the vertices are, or if you have certain things selected, it'll take note of what those ones that you selected, but if you just kind of have the general thing selected, that's something that always catches me. You can copy that. So I'm going to copy this form, and I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm going to paste. And so it basically created the same version of what was there, but because it's closer to what I'm going for, like I find it helpful. So maybe I should have done this one instead. So I'm gonna go copy, paste, and so in this case I might take brush. Like what you could do is also do, I'm not as used to this yet, but for some reason it reminds me of like terrain paint in The Sims. I don't remember what I was saying. Okay. It goes down. I don't necessarily want it to go down. I just want it to go more over here. Oh, my dog is here. Making a grand entrance. Hello. You kept on with the thunder shirt? Did he do anything? But didn't he do anything? I love you too. Huh?
Yeah, come in.
Please go with Papa. Come on. Take him, babe. Don't just walk out of the room like... Go, go, go. Also, Chibi still has his prong collar on. He didn't close the door. Classic. Can you close the door, please? Sorry if I'm loud in your guys' ears. So let's see what the difference is. It's mainly that this is closed. For a second I thought he closed in the dogs in the room, but the cats are here and that's what I saw moving. And the false alarm. My supervisors are here. Look at them lips. Them DSLs. So I see. So is it important to you that you make your model yourself? Like art and rig and everything, or is it kind of more necessity? Or maybe both, a little bit of one, a little bit of the other. They're patrolling. Makes sense. I think that that is pretty valuable for, you know, VTubers to actually understand how rigging works. So I guess because I'm able to kind of like dip my toes in all of it, I feel particularly like privileged in that. And there's like a lot that will make sense to me that won't make sense to someone else. Or if like someone's like, oh, like I want my model to do this and that and the other, it's like you don't realize how difficult it is to do that due to whatever your current setup is. But if you actually know how those things happen, then it makes more sense. You know, I didn't intend for it to just look like a sushi roll, like for it to be like this shape, but I guess it tracks. It kind of is just sushi roll everywhere. My face gets pretty flat over here, so let me just pinch this out a little bit. Also, where would it? Yeah, I agree. And also, like, you know, good bosses, they spend some time doing those jobs too. Like they know what kind of like goes into it, kind of work goes into it. Otherwise, you can't like make decisions about things that you have no idea about. I mean, people try, people do it, but it doesn't make it like ethical. I was gonna say something slightly controversial. I can't remember what it was. I mean, people are entitled enough that it's like their entitlement feels entitled. Do you ever rub your eye and your hand is like slightly not dirty, but it has like some oil in it, and then you stick and you're like basically rubbing it into your eye, and then your eye stings more, and then you want to rub it, and then it's just like endless struggle. In your bid to be more not social, but like cotton candy floofer. I don't know who that is. I always welcome floofs, but they just wait. They just subscribed, but they subscribed on Twitch. I do think I did an accidental stream on Twitch when I was trying to figure out this for a few seconds. So that probably... You know Cotton? Or you just think it's cute? But yeah, I should probably... You know how you can do an intro video? I should probably make a video basically pointing people back towards everything else. So yeah, you know them, or yeah, you think it's cute, or all of the above. Oh, how did you meet them? Oh wait, are they a collab person? By the way, I'm a little QQ that my tweet hasn't gotten more traction, you know, like the plan, the wholesome plan one. So I'm probably gonna have to make a more provocative tweet to get people excited. But I definitely will keep note of those people who did do it. Or maybe it's just, you know, how the algorithm is always kind of weird. Maybe it's just a down couple of days. But yeah, I was just so excited with like the potential of like the idea and like what, you know, not just like the money, but like just the experience, how it can like be such a great change that I just couldn't sleep. And then here I am, but hopefully I'll sleep well tonight. Oh, awesome. I'll have to check her out. Thanks for telling her about me. I feel so special. But definitely you're a good person to have as a regular. You're easy to talk to. I know that you don't believe that, but I feel that you're easy to talk to. It makes my job of speaking to the abyss easier. And then one day I'll wrap my head around the fact that people might watch this VOD later. I mean, like, I'm someone who watches hours of, like, content as well. Just kind of, like, having it as, like, background or whatever, but I guess it's almost like, the whole imposter syndrome. It's like, why would someone want to listen to me for, what, 4 hours? How long has it been? I have this huge thing that's blocking my way. Let's see... It has... Oh, we have 3 viewers! I try not to look because then well, you can continue to not believe me all you want. It's my truth and you can't stop me. I try not to look at the concurrent viewers because aside the fact that, you know, oh, like one could be a bot. I think that's more true in Twitch than YouTube, but it just, you know, puts unnecessary pressure. So... Oh, I haven't even been going for an hour yet. I mean... And I managed to finish one whole song without ending it at 12 minutes. But yeah, I think on my card I actually took down my Twitch thing, I believe. Could be wrong. Yeah, I think I just have Twitter and stuff. But yeah, so if you're ever feeling generous and you want to support me but you don't, you know, not necessarily you have to give money straight to me or something like that. You don't have the means to. If you are already buying stuff from Amazon, if you use my link, you can click the one that's on my card, the lists one, then because I, by their standard, brought you to the site, I get a commission based off the things that you buy. It could be like the most random shit, but because you used my code, you know, then that's how some people get, like a bunch of people get affiliate money. And I believe with Amazon, it's like it tracks it for like 24 hours, so it doesn't have to be like they had to buy within an hour. It's like, you know, so it's like you could be buying for something completely different, like, oh, back to school, and you're just on a stream about like metalheads or something. But if you click that link, that the money will go towards them, and you're not paying any extra, but you're able to support. So, that's some, like, I don't. People talk about affiliate codes and stuff like that, but I feel like people don't push it as much in terms of an option to like support people. Like if you're already going to do this, you know, consider doing this, and you get to support me in a way that you've been meaning to, but you are, you know, it's like the equivalent of like a subscribe or a like, except that it actually has more power. You know, like on YouTube, it's the views that matter. The subscriptions don't really matter anymore. I mean, it's nice for people to like look at, but like with the analytics, I believe that it's not as much of a player right now. So this is also a good reminder. If you ever feel like things are getting a little too fuzzy, that probably just means that your squares and your polygons and all that stuff are getting too far away, so it's stretching the art. Which is why there typically is, you know, this is all auto mesh. So I did all auto mesh for what do you call, because I'm on the beta version. I used all auto mesh, and it's so much smarter than the current like stable one. But yeah, so you can see it's like on the outside and on the inside, so it can capture the edge. Okay, Sunflower, I see you. 3 minutes and 30 seconds in, it's already repeating. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna listen to that whole thing over and over again. This sounds familiar. Aside from the fact that they all kind of sound like Animal Crossing, I think like because I'm on like some like streaming like YouTube channel or whatever for copyright-free music, and I'm pretty sure that some of them, when they create like long videos or they create like playlists or something like that, they recycle some of the music. And you know, it's hard not to, I can understand. Or if you're like doing a tips or something. Like I can imagine this being like an afternoon song for Animal Crossing. I guess I'll have to watch Me and Puppy Cat again to catch up and see Casper, the one who I allegedly remind you of. It's funny because I have a friend named Cass. Well, his gamer tag is the Caspernator, but you know, I just call him Cass. He's one of the few online friends that has actually managed to survive the years. Like, we don't talk as much as we used to. We don't play together, but you know, we're still, you know, knowledgeable about what each other is doing. Okay, kind of looks This is so crunchy. I hate this. I don't hate this, but I hate it when it does this. Okay, I'm gonna pretend like this isn't happening. Like this bobble. Pretend like isn't happening. And okay, so this looks good. I like this. I like that one. I like that one. It's literally just the top, pretty much. It's like, how can I blend them together? The cats are fighting. I don't know if they're actually. I don't think they're fighting. I don't think they're playing. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, he's barking because they're fighting. He's like the referee, the umpire. Except that he doesn't want them to fight, so I guess umpire is a bad example. But like, not even referee. Whatever, like an authority figure trying to keep everyone safe and overly concerned. That's him. So if I move this down here, this down here. Kind of looks like it's bowing. Well, if she's your favorite, that means I'm your favorite. Thanks so much. Thanks for coming for my TED Talk. JK though, I won't force that upon your being. And it could have very well been like this has happened to me before. Like I'm just not really thinking about it that much right in this moment. But someone could be doing something like what you're doing now, where you're like, oh, how did you know? And like they were being obvious about being obvious. But because I've gotten in trouble for making assumptions before, I just like revert to just like potato. Like I know nothing. I simply exist. Okay, so the ear gets too small to fit the fish. It's kind of like having hair that's not big enough. But yeah, you said that you're definitely gonna enter like the contest thingy anyway, right? Because I think your model is pretty cool. Like I can see us like down the line if you are still interested in getting it done. We'll see. We need people first though. That's one downside to me not being social about with VTubers and stuff like that. Like not trying to suck up to anyone. I guess the only people I suck up to are my rigging heroes. It's amazing what they've achieved in just a couple of years. And then imagine like the Japanese riggers, because they've had it for like a couple, like 3 years longer than the Western or just like everyone else has. So the things that they're showing on like Juku, which is their teaching YouTube, is just like they're casually like, oh yeah, you can do this and that. I'm like, wow, except I can't speak Japanese, so you know, it's makes it a bit of a struggle. Yeah, but you've also just, you know, the fact that you've retweeted has already been, it's like kind of like you've done your due diligence if there ever was any, so But I'm not surprised. Like, it's like no one knows who I am, and they don't know who those people are. But maybe get someone who's, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just rambling now. It's not even 7 p.m. yet, but my brain, like, especially because it's not dark outside. I could have sworn there was just like black outside, like just dark, but I forget it's the summer, so the sun. Okay, well, the sun's set. It's just very cloudy. Oh yeah. Also, stay careful. Stay safe. I mean, with the hurricane. I hope you're prepared in case it hits, because you're like, tickling its balls there. It's lady balls. Is it a girl? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. I think I was thinking of a different hurricane, but yeah, I'm all over the place. No, it's Hurricane Lee, but like there are a bunch of other ones that had happened. There are like 4 that had happened within like a span of 4 days, which was like unusual, and that's why they're making a note about it. But that was like in the Bahamas, like below, and those weren't going to affect this. It's just the Hurricane Lee that's like, oh hey there. I hear you like to live on the wild side. I don't know if you're familiar with, there's like this Japanese drumming game, like a rhythm game. It's starting to remind me of one of those drums now. It's like despite my best efforts, it just keeps becoming more and more round. I was kind of thinking like discus, like kind of flat, but like this is one of those things where it's just like, I'm going to just have to, call it wherever I am, and then I'm going to look at it in the next day, because that definitely helped with the ears. Wow. Yeah, classic Floridian. Just taking it as it comes. Are you even allowed to have, like, Oh, wait, I thought I was going for... Oh, wow. So you remember I thought I was going for, like, I haven't even been going for an hour yet? I was actually looking at the average view duration. So... that's basically just you. You are the concurrent viewers. And whoever else is lurking. But yeah, so it's been an hour and 40 minutes. That sounds more about right. It's like when the, stream elements or something, it's like top score for, if I ever do implement that, I'll definitely give you some grandfathered in points for keeping me company, keeping me sane. Okay. Well, I made it 11 minutes into this one, which is basically around the same 12-minute mark. Time to change to matcha mochi. The little drawing thing is cute. By any chance, is Cotton Candy Floofer also known as Christine? I have a feeling not, but if they are, they just followed me, so... Yeah, now looking at the They have a lot of not safe for work art. I'm like, I've been found out. They found me. Okay. Save. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna work on... Oh, right, okay. So I did this, the fish is here. Now I'm going to go to... Oops. This is one of the few times where I have more than 2 parameters because I have to have a lot of control. So when the ears are up, they look like this, but when I want the ears down, everything's gonna change. And they all have to stay like that for all of the angles. So that is a reason why you might want to have more than 2. But you have to do it very purposefully, otherwise you just lose your marbles. Not sure why this has it. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no. At one point I was thinking about having it on the other side of the head, so it kind of like the head is blocking it, but I don't think it's worth it in this case. I'm gonna hide the fish again. And... so I'll start here. So when this is down, start with the front. And I go all the way downtown. It's a little tricky just because there are some curved edges that don't want to curve. I should probably maintain where it's connected. But also, like, this isn't real life, so... start there. Like, who said my cat ears can't look like this? Me, I said that. Just kidding, I don't have a choice. But anyway, so this is what I was talking about in terms of, like, what Kyo was like, oh, well, can't you just... whatever. So I'm doing everything I can, or everything that I want to be done to this before I flip it, so then the work is already done. I'm happy to say that I don't experience many cats with pushback ears, so I'm gonna look up a reference. Angry cat. Oh no you don't. I hear you. 4 minutes and 24 seconds in. You can't trick me. Now we're going for rainy day. I'm not angry cat, I want sad cat. And of course I get all those memes of sad cats with super shiny eyes. And, you know, if I think about it, like... it's just kind of like... VTubers who have made it that they, like, go all the way down or whatever. Let me go back. Back to whence I came. So I don't know why this is... 500? Maybe I do know? Oh, I saw someone did hearts in the corner of my eye. So okay. So they're doing this because as far as this part is concerned, because I'm using it for draw order, as far as it's concerned, it still has only ear up. Whereas I may need to actually change the draw order when it is down as well. So in that case, I go back to whence I came. And I pew pew pew. It's like one of those gifs. Anyway, okay. Okay, I'm going here, and then I'm going to go to ears down. I have ears down. Oh, okay, interesting. So this is a good like lesson for you. So I actually had this parameter created before I had started reshaping the ears. So this is how she originally drew the ears, but I've kind of just put them like this, just because when I'm turning the head and stuff like that, it just made more sense to put it there. But anyway, so because I had it like that, it still has that as like the recorded whatever, but I don't want that to be like the default that I'm then adjusting. So I'm moving it back here, and I'm going to remove the parameter. And when you remove a parameter, it will maintain the form of what the last key form was. If that makes sense. So like if you had a jumbled mess and then you deleted your, angles key form, it's gonna stay a jumbled mess. So you have to make sure that you have it in the position that you want before you delete the parameter. So now you can see when I go like this, it looks like it's not moving. And then yeah, kind of. It's kind of like doing, yeah. Well, not necessarily new save. It's kind of like doing. I've been reading too many visual novels recently. But like when you have a save slot, and then you're just like loading back in to a previous save. So not so much new save, such as old save. But anyway, yeah, that's between that and the modeling, edit form, revert to original. Those are like your go-to saving grace. Okay. So here I need to make sure that I am an ears down. So many times I've like done it on the wrong one and it wasn't like toggled and lost my marbles. Okay, ear down. We have sad kitty. Oops. Oh, you know what? Let me go back. Something was weird and I realized that what it was the fact that I was still on smooth all. So that's not really what I want. I want to be able to have more control. And everything was just like so round and squish. Okay, so what I'm looking at now is that it's kind of rounded here. And then it's like the back of the ear that really can push that illusion. And like, I know some VTubers have them much more exaggerated, and I actually do like that. That was originally what I thought I was like supposed to do, but no, I'm like, I'm here. My shtick is realism anyway on a chibi cat. It's a mermaid, it's fine. Things are getting mighty tight over here. And also, I don't know if you knew, but like if you hover over the vertices, if you see that little square, almost like look little circle, that's how you know that you're on a vertice and not the handle. So, good things to look out for. So I think I want something that's a little bit more dramatic. Also, originally I had the... Well, yeah, I'm not gonna make it complicated for myself. Originally I was gonna do like ears down like that, but then also in ears that are like more perked up, but I don't have enough cuts to do that effectively, so I'm just gonna not make my job harder. I think it's because like my head is so round. This was the image I was looking at, where it's just kind of like swoop and then a little inside. But when their ears are back, they're actually kind of like flared up. Does he actually look sad? Because he still has his little smile face on. It's like this would be like angry. So then I'm like, okay, maybe I need another toggle for angry, rather than trying to squeeze it in with the parameter I'm already using. But you can't be angry and whatever, so... But then things get complicated. Either way, it's... I think I'll probably... Well, if the TV's too loud, isn't that more like they find it offensive? Like they're like... Not offensive, they're like concerned. Like they're surprised rather than alert. Like, well, I guess when I think of alert, I think of like paying attention, like ears perked up type of thing. But anyway, okay, so... So I guess I'm gonna just go with this for now. Oh, okay, that's better. I like the way that the underside interacts with this one better than the other one. Oh, Oh, the putty dad. Oh, oh, oh. That's so cool. Anyway, so front. Don't usually see much ears down when the head is up tilt. Well, no, that's not true. They're looking up at a human. Well, no, up. Like, we're not seeing it from below. Is what I meant, yeah. So that's something that's I find annoying, is that like if there's a curve and you're basically trying to make it straight, sometimes it can get a little lumpy depending on where the mesh is. Sometimes we wiggle it around a little. It'll sort itself out. So this one I think I'm gonna copy and paste here because it's still the same basic thing, but I can maybe pull this down more. Tuck this up a little bit so it matches the original points better. Take a small brush, loop this out a little bit, and I go to the back. I can do the same thing. Copy, paste. Sometimes it doesn't work. I actually rebind it, so it's on, I believe it's on like control something, control shift C and control shift V or something like that. But sometimes it doesn't work for whatever reason, so I actually rebinded mine to Alt C and V. Not that I ever actually use it though, because I use it my tour box, so it just knows what the hotkeys are, and I just press a button and it does it. Yeah, that's such a lifesaver. It was like expensive, but it was like, wow. For me, it was really like not often do you feel like, man, that was really a worthwhile purchase. But yeah, it's me and it's my tour box. Although I haven't used the art, what do you call it, the tablet yet that I got as part of the bundle. It's a pen display, but like the moment I managed to like get it on, it has like a million cords. It's like not only is there the USB, but then there's the power, and then you have to put a display port into the computer as well. And then because it was like it was a little bit more complicated than an extended screen, I was just like one hot nope, and haven't really touched it since. So I just been like, Rose, will you draw me this, that, and the other? And then I like throw money at her face or something. JK, I wish I could do that. Maybe one day. Okay. That kind of sounds like she's, you know, she's not. Yep. Anyway. Oh, look at that. Oh, poor tat. Oh. Like that, like having the head down, I really like. Oh. It really pushes it. You know the like the ooh woo, like the kind of like pushing your fingers? This kind of reminds me of what like the hair is like. The hair is like ooh woo. Should have probably done this one on the other one so it would be easier to see the transition. So I will do control, paste. Goes up a little too high. Huh? Oh. Okay, I accidentally switched it back to like happy ears. I hear you, music. A grand total of 18 minutes and 37 seconds. The new, practically a new record. The next one is called Afternoon Nap. Oh, it's sweet sounding. Anyway, okay. It's kind of fitting for the circumstance. So I'm looking at my YouTube thing, and it's still. Oh, never mind. That's my bad. Never mind. It was showing like when I was showing you the original like little reference art, and I'm like, why is it showing that when I'm like way ahead of that? But it was just my own silliness. Just put it that way. So if we just push this down a little bit. And I think if this is tilted up just a little bit, it'll kind of like give the thing of like, oh, it's turning a little bit-ish. Maybe if I make this a little more squat. Where did everything go? Don't have anything selected. Frontier. The one thing I wish was that like, so to, you know, make the brush bigger and smaller, you have to hold down B and then drag. I would rather use the brackets or something like you do in Photoshop. But alas. So you may notice that these are bright blue, whereas these are purple. And so that's something to keep in mind, is that if they're bright blue, or I think it might also be that you had to make a setting for it, but That means this box here, this is the parent deformer, so this is what it's sitting in. And you can see this particularly with like eyelashes. Like let's say within another deformer you do another kind of like deformation. Well, that art mesh will only hold that new deformation if it's in that specific deformer. The moment it goes out of that and it goes into like that deformer's parent deformer, then you'll see it like looks weird. It looks like a kind of like when you're seeing something like split by water, or like it has what do you call it? It's like displaced. So generally it's important to try and keep them within the box. Kind of copy, paste. So I'm gonna scooch this in a little bit more. Hands are indeed hard. It's always because like we overthink it. They just need to be broken down. It's like first make that like, you know, cube, that flat cube shape thing for the palm. Start there. Like if you try doing the outline first, then you'll just be screwed. I have small hands in real life, and I used to kind of like joke that that's why like my drawings tended to have hands that were too small for their bodies, because like I have small hands. Something I've noticed with like artists who are proficient with like hands and stuff like that is like they always make it a lot simpler than I realize that it needs to be. So I'm like, ah, this is the black magic. What part is opposite? So I think this is going up just a little too much. Oh, that's also something to know, that like the inner circle is just like it's like a hard brush, and it gets softer as it goes out. So that's why sometimes I'm like all the way out here, just kind of like doing little tweaks over there. Oh. Yeah. Struggle. No one's allowed to be happy. Oh, the baby kitty cat. Oh, so sad. Oh. Oh. I'm sorry for all my noises. This is what happens when you foster kittens. And they just do the darndest things. Plus this music is very, like, baby. I'm gonna do this one roughly, and then I'm gonna get something to eat. A little snack, little snacky snoo. This just looks weird. Okay, so I think this has to... almost fold over. You picking up what I'm putting down? Are you smelling what I'm stepping in? Doing a little too much shrinkage. Like a young adolescent in a freezing cold pool. I mean, am I wrong? Sometimes it just be like that. I'm starting to see it more now. Okay. So this goes here. Now you're painting with pixels. Not pixels. They are pixels, but I was thinking of, like, you know, portals, but whatever this would be. Vertices. That doesn't sound particularly sexy. Alright, song, you've had your last laugh. You lasted 11 minutes and 41 seconds. It's pretty funny how consistent I am. It's like, at around 11 to 12 minutes, I'm like, nope. You are gone. You've met my limit. Something about this seems... I think that the thing is, like, it would be, like, maybe here, and then you would see, like, the other side of the ear. Oh gosh. Crunch intensifies. Maybe I can, like, bake it? think it's working. And this would be like... So, like, I don't have enough control here, so I'm gonna bump up the divisions. If I can pull this off, this will be like my greatest heist yet. Imagine what would happen if I like put pure physics and everything just falls apart. If you really squint, you can suspend your disbelief, but it's not really compelling. Sometimes I'm like, oh, what? Because like I can, if I put my mic close enough, you could probably hear the like the clicks and everything. Classic cat. It's because it's warm. It smells like your farts. Sorry. I think it would be funny to do like rigging ASMR. It's basically just like me coughing and a bunch of button clicks. But then again, people like ASMR, I wouldn't say weirder things, but like surprising things, so you never know. Yeah, your cat was like, playtime's over. I let you have your time. Now it's time to give it back. Already? It lasted 3 minutes. I think maybe I'm reaching my human capacity or something. I'm starting to get into that zone where I start saying random stuff. Random nonsense. Like, it's not even, like on purpose, like this, because the stream of consciousness just takes over. It's kind of like I was drunk or something. Let me squint. If you were a real cat, what would your ears look like? Okay, well this would have to be down. And it has to be taller. So... try that. Time for my handy dandy brush. Just to manhandle my way through it. Keep on muddling through. So I hit that by accident. This would probably be out like this. I think that this could be getting there, we're close. This could be a little longer. This could be a little taller. It is gratifying though, I will say that. I'll have to decide if I want to keep that there. Yeah, no, I think that they all need to be 500. It's just that I need to push this in. I'm getting close. I can taste it. Victory or death. Probably have to change this, but no time. Just leave it. That's something I could do is like, if I'm not smiling and my head is down, I could just have the ears automatically come down. Cute. Alright, well, I think that's me for today. Thank you so much for hanging out. It's been fun. Legitimately. I don't know why I just said that. Like, it was more fun than I anticipated, more entertaining than I anticipated. So, yeah. Now I need to warm up and get used to it. Like, if this is me 2.5 hours with like 2 hours of sleep, I'd say that's pretty good. So, imagine what I could do with like more existence. Yeah. Okay, anyway, have a great night, or if there are any people who are, it's morning, stay safe, all that. See you next time. Bye!